Finally, please, finally. Yes, we should live. We should be live. Let me make sure if we're live or not. Yes, we're
Yes,
live.
we
We're live.
should live.
Okay. Hey. Oh boy. Give me 1 second, cause I don't have a vision who is talking, who is not talking, and that's not going to be fun. So let me just very quick go to my other chat. Uh, not this. Discord overlay. Copy. Can you not copy Discord overlay? By the way, we're live. So, you guys introduce yourself. I'm gonna start with Kofi. Sorry, not Kofi, Pharaoh. Yeah, we are literally with three-man crew. Dante is probably asleep, and Jubei is, Jubei is always late. So, so Pharaoh, what you been up to?
Looks like it's just me and you, Omar.
Oh my gosh, then go ahead, Zero. What you been up to?
Oh, just playing, really playing a lot of stuff, honestly.
Is that not
Glad to
what?
be back.
Yeah, what you been
Is it?
playing?
Primarily Elden Ring. It is probably my new favorite game. I cannot get enough of it. I'm probably about maybe 25 hours into it so far. Um, and I just can't. I can't stop playing. I have like a mage build. I'm trying to sort of be more like Gandalf with like magic and weapons. Um, Actually, I found a magic that sort of turns me into Roy Mustang from Full Metal. So like I've been basically running around snapping at people with fire. Um,
Oh,
it is
nice.
absolutely just a fantastic game. I see why it's gotten, despite some of its issues, and there are a couple of hard issues that I don't like. But I see why it's praised so well.
Hmm.
A friend of mine has the game, has the same exact class I do, and we've just gone on completely different paths. Like he's found stuff I found stuff he hasn't. I've beaten bosses he didn't even know exist. It's just such an absolute blast to play. I love it.
Gotcha. And play OBS. Give me a second to see if someone else joined or no. Yeah, Pharaoh, you here or no? You're on mute. Okay, well, as for me, I started and finished a game called Anima Gate of Memories. It's an remaster game. I am not sure from which, if it's on PlayStation 2 or 3. It's definitely not a PlayStation 4 game. It's clunky as heck, but it's fun. Story is interesting. I finished that game. I'm now start playing Anima, the second one. Yeah, like I have Elden Ring if I want to, but the thing is, Tiny Tina is literally coming in 10 days, and Ghostwire is also coming in a few days. I don't have time to put energy and stuff in Elden Ring to build up my character. Because the problem is with Elden Ring, apparently, well, it's not apparently, it's obvious, it's Fromsoft, so of course there is no quest log. So,
Nope,
you
not a
have,
single one.
I'm sorry?
Which I admittedly said, not a single one. Which admittedly I think is, I don't need a quest log. What I think I would prefer is something similar to like a very vague journal.
What's a quest log? Just to I make sure I'm not using the wrong word.
Well, a quest like Horizon has quest logs. Like you have your main quest, and then below it is like a bunch of side quests that you can sort of rally on the marker, so that anytime you jump in, you know, okay, what's the main quest? It's go do this thing.
Yeah, so that I need. You know why? Cause I read it from a friend of mine. He got a quest. He had to do something. He left the game. He forgot about the quest. He had now a bunch of quests. He doesn't know where to turn them in. It's
Yeah, I
like,
mean it's
yeah,
how it operates, which I'm like I'm okay with that. I do not want this game to have a
I
very
would
traditional quest log.
I would be okay with that if it was a linear game, but this is literally an open world game.
Well, it actually does guide you towards where it wants you to go. The map itself, when you find the sites of grace, they actually point in directions about where you're supposed to be going. Um, and part of it is like the game obviously scales on your level depending on where you are in the world. Like some places are just much harder than others. So you can sort of find your way just by sort of, okay, here are easy enemies. This must be sort of the right way to go. Like from a story perspective, I've beaten the second boss, I think. But I've purposely wandered off of the path. I've beaten at least 10 bosses, I think, at this point. Um,
Mm,
so again, I do understand the complaint, but I wouldn't want it to have be something like Horizon. I think something like a vague journal, which sort of just highlights I was here or I met this one thing, just to give like a quick reminder. Because yeah, like there's this woman you meet who's in a shack, and I she asked me to do something, and I just completely forgot about what she asked me to do, and winds up once you like actually complete her quest, she helps you, but I just don't know like what to do then.
I don't know. It's like I got so many games to play. It's just I need to focus on which game I want to play. I got the Scarlet Nexus. I got a game called um, Valkyrie Chronicles. Uh, it's a strategy game, a war game, anime related, and it's like, yeah, and especially with this new state of play we're gonna cover, oh boy, so many games to play. Claro, you alive? I don't think he is.
It's like
So,
it's just you and me.
yeah, okay. Hey, where's Coffee though? Coffee, can we send him a PlayStation message? Nah, he's offline, I guess. Okay, with that being said, let's get to the first topic. State of play. Did you watch it?
Yep.
How was it for you?
I actually really enjoyed it. I was a little surprised that people didn't. No, actually, I take that back. No, I wasn't. Um, I I think that the reason why I really like this state of play is because it reminded me a lot of the ones from a
Ni-
Nintendo Direct.
Nintendo, eh?
Because what it wasn't the big showcase of here's our big deal games. It was just here are a bunch of other games that we have here. So it's the like not Dino Crisis game. It's Path to Yomi. It's
I love how I love how people are calling it a Land Dino Crisis game. I truly wish Dante was here. I would have expected a rant from him.
yeah, Exoprimal. Uh, it's very clearly supposed to be Dino Crisis meets like Earth Defense Force meets Overwatch.
Yeah.
Um, and like it ended with that reveal with someone else sat down, which to me it doesn't make any sense if it's not Regina from Dino Crisis. Otherwise, what are you doing? Um,
If it is Dino Crisis, then why call it primordial or whatever you want to call it?
and
Would you then, is that a subtitle and after the second reveal, after the second trailer, they're gonna say Dino Crisis Extra Primordial or something like that?
I mean, even if it is like that, this still wouldn't be what people wanted. Like Dino Crisis, for lack of a better term, was just Resident Evil dinosaurs.
Yeah, I
So
remember. I
that's
played
what
it.
people, yeah, that's what people wanted. And regardless of whether or not this is called Exoprimal, this is not the Dino Crisis people were expecting. Although I think it looks fun. Hopefully it's not too games as a servicey. and
Um,
maybe exist more like Dead by Daylight, which is games as a service, but like it seems to find its niche pretty well. Um, but it's got to go up. This also gives me Evolve vibes, which Evolve didn't do very well.
you
So,
have, yeah. It's the first thing that it gave me evolve. No, it didn't give me evolve. It gave me Anthem vibe. The way the
or
characters
Anthem,
look. Yeah. Uh, Um. Do you have access to VGP on Twitter?
me,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Can you tweet out that we're live?
Oh yeah, sure.
Thank you. I told.
Yo,
I asked Jubei to do so, but so so
It was a weird collection of games. Like Forspoken
okay.
was
So
there, which like that's their
we're
big
gonna
deal.
talk about it. My question for you is this: was this Japanese focused? Yes or no?
Uh, Focus? I don't
Yeah.
know if focus is the right word.
They shown a
I
lot
guess
of
from a
games.
numbers perspective, I guess there were more Japanese games shown than not.
Yep, and that's what it's all about. And as
Um,
for the people not liking it, I mean, do you even play games? It's literally,
but I
yeah.
understand why people don't like it because like it's the
Why?
same complaint that people always levy at Nintendo when Direct pops around. When they don't show Kirby, Mario, Samus, or Metroid, like people tend to lose interest.
But
Meanwhile,
the
me as a
different,
fan of these games were like, so when when the Direct with Phoenix Wright dropped, that was hot for me. The last one we just had, where they dropped Advance Wars, um, Mother, or Earthbound, Live Alive, that's been on there. Like all those games, I, as a fan of sort of a lot of these genres, were very hyped for. But I understand that a lot of people who just sort of want the big hitters of Nintendo, they didn't get any of that. Like there was no, I mean, Kirby showed up, but like that was it. Similarly, I think for this PlayStation one, Forspoken was probably the biggest name there. Um,
nah, the biggest is the Returnal.
I think Returnal was the most surprising, but
Yeah.
but we know what Returnal is. We still don't
Oh,
know what
not
oh, oh,
Forspoken is
Japanese.
oh,
completely.
oh. If you want to talk about the biggest surprise, then that goes to Valkyrie Elysium.
I think, but the
I don't think
Valkyria,
that was a big surprise. I didn't
no,
see
yeah,
the.
it's
That's
cool. Again, it's
absolutely
cool.
a big surprise because no one expected that. Like
I think, but
Returnal,
it's only for people who know that series exists.
Not a
but
big series, so it's not a big surprise. Like,
Like
I
for
mean,
example,
it's like known, but it's not. You know,
like
it's
for
not a
Pharaoh,
staple. It's not a staple
Pha-
franchise for.
Pharaoh,
yeah.
you have a little bit, almost like a background echo. It's not.
Is that better?
Try speaking.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's way better. Thank you.
Okay.
Here's the thing. A Valkyrie Profile is a game that exists, or two games actually from it, and people have been waiting for the next installment of this. So for them to showcase Valkyrie Elysium, like that's a surprise. Whether it's a good or a bad thing, we can talk about it and debate about it. But it is a surprise. No one expected a Valkyrie Elysium. Forspoken, we all knew Forspoken exists. We all also knew Forspoken getting a delay.
Yeah,
And
they
it
announced
was,
the delay before the show even kicked off.
yeah, and it was expected for the game to be showcased because they just announced the delay and they just said that it's gonna be Japanese focused, so you would expect a game like Forspoken to be there, and it was. That's why, to me, Disco Elysium is the most surprising. Aside from the Returnal DLC, which again no one thought coming, I knew there was a DLC for Returnal in the work because the game was received well and people online want more Returnal, want an excuse to get back to the game, including myself.
I I didn't see a lot of social mentions of Returnal other
Because you
than
don't
like the
follow. a lot of
I do
PlayStation
follow.
dude.
I follow a lot of PlayStation stuff. I do. I didn't see a lot of
Returnal
mention
is
of
more
most.
Yeah,
The most.
niche than
a lot of
Golden
The
Ring.
people want to
more. I
play
mean, the game
Returnal.
only sold 500,000 copies, so we're
Yeah,
not. We're not
See,
on
gonna
a
have
PlayStation.
how
On,
Sifu outsell Returnal, bro? Sifu outsold
like.
Returnal. I don't want to hear that shit.
I mean, Sifu
dude,
was on multiple platforms, so
Sifu
I
It
mean
is.
is
It is,
is
but still.
on
so that's
PlayStation
so I'm not
4.
gonna do that. To
Sifu is on
um
PlayStation 4 and 5 and PC. While
yeah.
Returnal is literally on PlayStation 5 only. What we're
And
doing here?
Sifu sold 1 million. It sold 1 million copies. And
Yeah, it's
Returnal can
on
only manage.
PlayStation 4 and 5. PlayStation 5.
Okay, and Returnal has been out on 18 million PS5s, and nobody's buying it. Like, come on. I don't want to hear about that damn
I
broken
mean,
ass game.
there is enough PlayStation 5s for it to garner greater sales. Like
It should have been hit 1 million. Haven't heard it. You know why? Because nobody gives a fuck. I damn sure don't give a fuck about
it's
that.
it's a niche game. Like like the people that played it and enjoyed it, they played it and enjoyed it. But it's not the big hit that Sony tried to market it to be. When you look at
And
actual sales,
with rightful fairness, because people weren't really prepared for what Returnal was.
and it had issues at launch.
Yeah, so like that doesn't help. Like compared to
Right.
Sifu, which like people understood, like at its core, it's a beat 'em up. And if you've played Streets of Rage, if you've played Fatal Fury, if you played Double Dragon, like you get it. It's harder, but like at the end of the day, is push buttons, punch people, and it's like okay, this I can work with this. It's just hard as all hell. Whereas like Returnal, we're like I don't know what I'm doing. What's this? Why does she keep dying? What is this
And when
mechanic?
people realize that they played like 4 hours and the game crashes and they can't get anything back, it's like, or like even like the people that didn't have a crash, but they didn't realize it would quite be like that, and they bought it for the first time and they played a couple hours, put the game in suspend mode, and then went to play something else, and then came back and their progress was gone. Like stuff like that. People,
Yeah. So,
I
but what
mean,
I was saying is like not biggest surprise. What I was Forspoken, I think is the biggest game there at the show.
Mm,
Meaning,
oh,
like that's like I think Forspoken is the most anticipated currently. It's like the most talked about. It has the most sort of hype and buzz because it's new. It has its own like sort of internal issues that people have leaned on. And like people still want to see more of this game compared to everything else that would like Elysium is a surprise, but I do not think a lot of people care about Elysium. Like,
do
I
you
think the
oh,
last console Valkyrie Profile game was on PS2,
PS1 and then the second one PS? No, PS2. Yeah.
and then they did a remake on the. They did a remake of the first one on the Vita, I believe, which like that's the one I want to come back. I don't understand why they just won't make that one again or make
Yeah,
something similar in that
I'm
vein.
hoping for this game to do well, so they remake the first one or remaster it. Like, I want to play the first and second one on PlayStation 5 or 4.
I mean, I'll be hopping into Gundam Evolution.
Are you agree,
that
man?
that
I'm not touching that yet.
that game kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
What, guys? It's Gundam shooting at each
It
other.
look
No, no.
it looks cool, but like
There's not enough.
as a fan of Gundam, I'm a fan of the close up combat.
Yeah, bro.
So
There
when you
was
tell me
not
it's a
enough
first
beam
person,
sabers. Yeah,
Oh,
there,
yeah,
there wasn't enough beam
when you
sabers
tell
in there.
Beam sabers.
when you tell me that it's solely a first person shooter, I'm I'm trying to be Gundam Barbatos and like really fuck shit up. And
I'll admit, and maybe I missed it. I didn't see the Gundam Wing characters in it. I saw a
No,
lot of
none.
Gundam characters.
Classic.
yeah,
Oh, I use guns. Ass Gundams.
Yeah, even though like
yeah.
weird that Heavy Arms, the dude who's just all guns, is not in this game. But yeah,
Oh, he'll be
Yeah.
in there as a paid DLC. You already know how it goes.
that's true. This is free to play. So
You
yeah,
already know how it goes. So
yeah.
Are you
he'll be there.
interested in what are you interested in Diofield?
Um, I'll probably have to play what's the game that just came out for Switch?
Triangle
Project
Strategy.
Triangle Strategy first. I
Don't
don't
waste
know.
your money.
Oh, really?
That story's bad, bro. Don't waste your money.
There is a game that I'm interested in that I saw today. Just happened to come across it while I was doing some gaming today. Elix 2.
I don't know Elix.
I don't know. I never heard of it either, but this is the second one in the series, and the trailer looked like pretty intriguing. It's like a science fiction E-type RPG, open world RPG.
I'm very
I don't know.
disappointed in the triangle strategy. I'm probably still going to buy it, but
Yeah, I
admittedly,
would get it.
I've
I would
also
try to get it
heard-
on a sale. So
Okay, I've heard the story is kind of weak sauce for a game that
Like,
feels like it should be.
the game is great when they let you play it, but it's dragged down so much by useless dialogue and nonsense. Like it's just the story's just
Hold up,
trash.
hold
and it's
up,
just
hold
like,
up.
Where-
But hold up. This is literally a strategy game. It's supposed to have dialogue.
Not
We're
when the
not-
dialogue.
we're not
is
saying the
bad.
game is
I'm not
supposed to
saying
have
having
dialogue.
dialogue is bad. It's bad dialogue is bad.
What is bad dialogue? Give me an example.
I would actually. I hate to question with a question, but I'll do it this way. I'll reverse it for you. It's not a strategy game, but like it has a massive amount of dialogue. Isn't that part of the reason why people like 13 Sentinels so much?
Yeah,
That
like,
the story is so solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Like,
assumption is based on what
would
you
people
say.
would people like it? Would people like it if its story wasn't solid though?
Wait, 30 Sentinel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
30 Sentinel have one of the best story ever.
Yeah.
Like,
what I
Yes,
just said
but the question
was
is,
if
if
it
it didn't have a
didn't,
good story,
nobody would like it.
would the gameplay carry 13 Sentinels?
No,
If
no,
it was
no,
if it was,
no,
if it was
no.
only gameplay and no
No,
good story,
hold
that's what
up.
he's
No,
asking.
no. Hold up. 13 Sentinel got carried by the story over the gameplay.
Yes,
That's what I mean. So if 13 Sentinels had a shitty story, nobody would have played that game. I
Yeah, I
guarantee.
agree. I agree.
And
I
then
agree.
that's my issue with triangle strategy. Like you
It-
you
It's
need
just,
something of
So the
interest
story is
in
not
a
good.
strategy
Not the
game
dialogue.
besides
It's just the
yeah.
story.
It's the story, but then the dialogue doesn't help either, and you're
the story,
forced to
the
sit
dialogue
through
makes the
so
story.
much of it. Yeah,
The dialogue
because
is what
there's no
makes the
voice
story.
acting. There's no voice acting in this game. It's you got to read all of it, and like it's fucking bad.
Yeah, no voice acting is a turn off.
You know what it probably is. They probably got a bad translation team.
Something it's a waste. It's a waste of $60 for me. So
From what I've been seeing, if it's not a premier game, Sony is really starting to. I mean, not Sony, Square is really starting to drop the ball
But
on,
whatchamacallit
on their
was
titles.
well received. That's not.
No,
a
they
strategy
put a lot of games that got well received.
Bravely Default was well received. That what you about to say?
And
You
no,
have-
it's
you
the
have-
other one.
Yeah, I have. There's a few. Oninaki. There is the remaster.
Specific
Yeah.
It's a strategy. It's not a strategy game. What's
Oh,
the-
you're talking
It
about.
looks like Project Triangle Strategy. It was the first one that came out.
Oh, you're talking about what's called
It plays like Legend of Mana,
Octopath Travel.
Octopath Traveler.
Octopath
Yes,
Traveler.
that's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I forgot that's not a strategy game either.
No, that's
But like
the
I said,
JRPG.
they're
It's-
starting to
it's
drop
just
the ball.
RPG.
I'm not saying it's something that has been going on for years, but I mean it has been going on for like the past like 2 or 3 years. We're starting to see like Square starting to slip. Like
yeah, I'm hearing Stranger of Paradise's story is trash too. So it's
Everything
like,
I see
yeah.
from Stranger in Paradise is like, this is dumb. It's fun, but it's very
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, the gameplay's fun, but like this story is poop.
But here's the thing with Stranger's Paradise. It's literally there's a demo for people to try it out. And
Okay, that demo ain't gonna show that weak ass story. Like I'm already sure that this main character that we're stuck playing as is about to be lame, and I'm not gonna be happy about it.
I feel like if it's just
Oh,
I
no,
I probably won't
absolutely
buy
not.
it.
then let me ask you this: what's the story of Elden Ring? Like the Soul games, they have always had not a great story.
I don't know about that.
I do, because you actually need to read what's called item description to understand what the fuck story is about. Heck,
Well, true.
in Bloodborne, you needed to consume 3 umbilical cords to look. You need to find them. No idea where they are. You had to just run the map and look for them. And one of them is so fucking obscure. I'm talking about when you literally had to jump down, and they don't even invite you to jump down because dropping down the lake make you take damage, and they hide the third one literally in a small area where you don't even know it exists if you don't find. Like the
I
amount
don't
of
know. I mean,
the
Square has given
amount.
us some super good
No, no, no,
stories.
no.
It's
Here
just
is the thing. Here is the thing with it. I've seen it now for a while now.
We
Wait a
expect
you
second.
expect that story to slap.
No, no. I am. Hold on. Why am hearing audio in the background?
I'm not hearing
Okay.
anything.
Yeah, that's Jubei. He fixed it. When it comes to what I've seen now companies, people giving FromSoft a pass and focusing on other games and calling that shit out. Like I've seen Stranger Paradise. Apparently, it's at 20. It's doing 20 FPS or 5 FPS. I forgot what it's called, and they calling that out. Yet, Dark Souls is literally infamous for Blighttown. It's like the double standard is beyond visible. And no, the audio is not from you, but you don't need to mute yourself then. It's from someone else. I don't know who it is. Um.
I was just making sure. I was just trying to be
Oh, okay.
making sure.
It was not you. Um. So that's why when I'm reading, like, one of the complaints for Stranger in Paradise is literally there's way too many loot. Like, how is that a complaint? That's what I'm saying. Like, imagine playing Borderlands 3 and thinking, oh, way too many loot. Like, you're literally playing a looter shooter. With Neo, you're literally playing a Dark Souls.
It's the problem is when you spend more time in the menus than you do playing the game.
But
So
that's
I
what
can I
looter
can
shooter
understand
is
that
about.
criticism. In Final Fantasy, I'm in the menus when I need to be in the menus, and then I'm playing the game otherwise. But
I was,
But
is
this
like
is
Stranger Within a looter? Is it a looter?
no
they just give you a
Action
fuck
RPG?
ton of
Stranger's
they just give you
Paradise.
a fuck ton of loot.
Stranger's
So you're
Paradise.
constantly, oh, I picked this up. Let me go into my inventory and look at it. Like that's not Final Fantasy to me. Like here,
But
it's
Stranger's Paradise is literally like Neo. If you played Neo, you know what you're expecting with Stranger's Paradise. That's what it's all
Game,
about.
but I guess game. Well, go ahead, Pharaoh.
Yeah, you go ahead. Who want to say? Pharaoh? Oh, Pharaoh, you are low. Give me a second to. I made you low.
yeah,
Go ahead,
you're
try
tad bit.
talking.
I was gonna say that when it comes to these, when you games aren't unfairly uh, judged.
Yeah,
They're
so it
judged
seems.
based on they're judged based on their publisher. Which so like
So it seems.
so like so basically a Final Fantasy game is judged based on other Final Fantasy games. Like it's based on like typically they're judged based on games that are already within the catalog. So like FromSoft games are judged based on games that are already in FromSoft's catalog. So I mean, so when someone reviews that game, typically most of them are coming from a place where they've already played previous games in that genre from that publisher.
Yep.
So that's where you get those ratings from. So you could say, well, this game does this and it doesn't get knocked for it, but another publisher does. Well, that publisher is being judged based on what they produce.
Who they are as a
I
publisher.
wouldn't call it I wouldn't call it an unfair standard. I would call it you being judged. You're being judged based on your own, like based on your history.
Yep.
So you really have nowhere else to go but up because you're being judged based on your previous work, unless you done
I mean,
scored 100 on a game and you
I
have
would
nowhere else
say,
to go but
or you
down.
peaked early with like Final Fantasy VII and just like can't really recover ever since then.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
I mean, it just
Final Fantasy 8, 9, and 10 were all fantastic, and
and
12.
And
arguably
12.
6 is the best one of them all. So
And
like,
12. Don't forget
Like
12.
they had a real strong run until 13 hit. 13
yeah,
and 15 were
13.
13 and 15 were the ones that were like but other than that, like
But
if you go
you know what the problem
six
is
to
with Go ahead, Pharaoh. Make your point, and I will
No,
give you my
I was gonna
opinion.
say if you go 6 to 12, it's a very solid run
Yeah.
with no
It
Uh,
is.
complaints from.
Here is the thing. When it comes to this, 14, no, 13, and especially 15. I don't understand why. I don't understand how it have cult following. It's literally beloved like a cult. While
Because the story around the game is better than the actual game. Like
Yep.
Final
but
Fantasy 15 actually has a really good story. It's
really,
just not fully fleshed out within the
Exactly.
game.
They
Yes,
didn't present it. They did not
hold,
present it in a good way
hold,
at all.
the story is great.
hold up though.
The Brotherhood anime is great. The movie is great. The books are good. It's just the story is not fully fleshed out within the game, and
So,
that's where it falls short.
uh, so the game needed to be bigger then. But which is
The game needed time because after the Alticia part, they didn't allow them to finish the game. So to get the Alticia, you know, the battle takes place there. Everyone gets messed up, and then after that, they kind of flash forward to the end of the game instead of actually letting you play through that.
so they
And
skipped
then
a lot of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, you wake up. We wake up with a whole ass beard, bro. Like, what the fuck happened?
yeah,
Like,
I
so
dropped that game. Like,
and then you have the characters that go off on their own stories, and that's not included in the original game.
oh, you're
And
it's
talking
then
DLC.
about
It's
so
DLC,
that
and then it's not even really good fleshed out DLC. It's nonsense.
yeah, so it's just
wow. I
so
was one of the
the issue with Final Fantasy 15 is actually a great story. It's actually a really good story if you take time to put everything together. The problem is that they didn't put it together for you in a packaged video
okay.
game.
The issue with Final Fantasy 15 is also the fact that your summon is
The
focused
summon
on.
concept is fantastic. I love the summon
Yeah,
concept. Depending
No,
on where you are,
no,
like I thought,
absolutely not. You know why? Because you need conditions. If I want to
which
summon
is
a,
fine. It's a balance
it's
on the
region
summons
based. It was region
to
based.
stop them
Yeah.
from being overpowered and spammed. Even though you just spam Ramu most of the time because that's the one that shows up.
but then it's no longer fun. When you literally have 4 or 5 new summons, like there have been people that finished the game and never even summoned Leviathan once.
I mean, I summoned Leviathan, but like that's not a new summon for me. I played as I've used Leviathan in other games. I don't really care. And with the
Yeah,
Ring of Lassie,
you
I
get the
wasn't.
summons
I
based
completely
on
forgot about
battling in
using
certain
summons.
areas.
Like once I got my ring, I forgot about using summons because I didn't need it. I'm stronger than a summon at that point.
I truly wish they're gonna fix that with 16.
Like I
Forspoken,
encourage anybody to go watch that Final Fantasy 15 movie. It's
Oh, I have it. I bought
I
the collector's
watched
edition
it.
for Final Fantasy
I bought it
15.
too.
I have that movie. I have
Yeah,
that movie on disc.
I
it's dope,
watched
and
it.
it's on
It's
Netflix
dope.
right now. I think.
I watched it
I
and I
encourage
love the
anybody to watch it.
anime. It just even the anime prepped me up for a great game, and I didn't get that with
It's just
15.
they just did not deliver the story like they're supposed to. That's
Yeah.
really the
I
only
don't
issue.
know.
Like I didn't have an issue with gameplay. I didn't have an issue with any of that shit.
Like
Like
Okay,
you
so
play that whole
apparently,
game. You play that
so
whole game, and you never learn in the game that Arden is actually like Noctis's uh, ancestor, like
yeah,
his
he's a
like
relative.
direct bloodline, like great uncle. Like
Yeah,
you never find that out in the game.
how do you know that then?
read the
It's
books.
in the books and shit.
Oh, fuck out of here with that
Yep.
bullshit.
Like I said,
Yeah.
they just dropped the ball and given us
So
the
Fuck
story.
out of here with that
basically, Arden
bullshit.
and his brother had a falling out, and he was like banned from the royal lineage.
Oh,
And the whole basis of the game is that like he's getting revenge, you know, for the sins of
oh,
his brother.
Of the
oh
father, yeah.
hell.
Yep.
Oh hell
Yeah.
no. Like, that
But you
pisses
never find that out by playing the game. You never find
Even in
out.
his own episode, even though he had his own paid DLC, they never talk about it. It never
That
got touched. And I'm like, you're
pisses
killing
me.
me, Smalls.
That pisses me off so much because you already gave me the movie. You already gave me the anime. I watched them both. Now I need to read the fucking book so I understand.
Yep.
So I get the full story.
I don't
Like,
know if it needed more time or what the issue was, but that story did not come out how
was
But
it should
it was a
be.
time issue.
let be real. Square Enix have a habit of doing shit like this. Look at Final Fantasy VII.
Final Fantasy 15 should have been what Final Fantasy 7 was to us growing up.
It should have been, and it was
Final
on
Fantasy
pace.
It
It was
should.
on pace to do that, and they
Final
fumbled it.
Fantasy 15 should have been that to this new generation
Okay,
of gamers.
Alright,
Final
so
Fantasy 15 should have been Final Fantasy 7. Should have been
we
their
might
Final Fantasy
actually
7.
we might actually get that with 16, cause
alright, I'm here. By the way, Omar, no need to message me if I'm awake. Don't worry about it. I have a second stream. I do.
okay, I was just checking, cause you was online. I was confused. I thought maybe if you were asleep, you would be offline. Here's the thing with 15, and then I will give it to Dante. I want to hear Dante's opinion on state play. We went way off topic, but with 16, you have what's his name, the one that fixed 14. He is working on it, and apparently, 14 have one of the best Final Fantasy story ever. So
I just
14
my
is
whole
like
issue.
MMOs. That's a little different.
It is.
no,
my-
but
my
even
whole-
so, yeah.
My
Go
whole
ahead.
thing with this whole crystal this crystal era that Final Fantasy's been going through, like, cause like did we ever get Versus 13? Did that ever become
No,
a thing?
but
Yeah, it never
like,
became a thing. Like there was just so many ideas left on the table that just
Yeah.
weren't realized or executed.
like
You need
Versus
that's a management issue at that point. If you can't get that done, that means you're not managing your project well. So I hope the dude from 14 comes in and is running a tighter ship so that
He-
we don't run into this.
I am actually worried about this because he is running 14 and he needs to create 16. How are you gonna do that? And apparently he
Well,
literally play tested 1,000 side quests before releasing them. Like
Yeah. That means he's hands on. But here's the thing: 16 ain't gonna have 1,000 side quests in it.
no.
It's not an MMO. It's not a living, breathing game. It's gonna be a game that you're gonna play maybe a handful of times to get all the details there. But it's not like an MMO where you constantly have to feed it content in order for it to exist.
But other than that, when it comes to what's called 16, yeah, I you know about 13 verses, we might actually get it. They teased
I don't
it-
know.
They teased it with Viram Rex in Kingdom Hearts 3. We might genuinely get it, but in a different setting. Now,
I think that got left on the cutting room floor, bro. Because 16 is such a departure, even from the art style and like what they were trying to go for with this
Yeah.
crystal era. So I mean, I think it's a clean slate. I think we're gonna get something else.
we will see. Let me go to Zero, because he was still talking about state of play. Any games you're not interested in state of play?
Well, I'd say I am cautiously optimistic for Elysium. Nothing that I'd say like, I don't want to play. I personally hope Doffield Chronicles comes on the Switch, just because like I just don't spend a lot of time in front of my PlayStation playing tactical RPGs. It's just not what I want to do anymore. I'd much rather do that on the go. And keep it sort of that information that way. Otherwise, what's Valkyrie Elysium Return? I still haven't played Returnal, so I'll get around to that. Ghostwire Tokyo, of which I played a little bit this weekend. So that seems kind of fun. I think if people like Yakuza, you might enjoy Ghostwire. It's giving me that vibe just from a first-person perspective.
Is it giving you Yakuza meets Bioshock?
Yes, that's a good way to explain it. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yakuza meets Bioshock. I don't know who they've got doing the hand animations, but they're very good. Because all of their power is with the hands, and so when you see them move, some of
Does
them
it
look.
remind you with Naruto?
It does. There is a
Oh,
water
so
move that
here's
looks an
what's
awful
called-
lot like what is his move? Not Rasengan.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just a floating blue spear. Movement is kind of good in it. I like the enemy types. I think they're very interested, kind of varied. I'm always here for anything that is not Greek. So like that they seem to be leaning to more. I guess this is Shinto, and all of those
Yeah,
types of demons. So I'm that like that's just far
like
more
very
interesting
Shinto,
to me.
very Taoist.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah,
Dowfield is, yeah. She can't, Amadeus can't see us because I need to fix that with OBS. Give me 1 second. What's called?
I mean, my biggest hype is the JoJo game.
Oh yeah, that we're gonna definitely talk about that. So with OBS, not OBS, with Dowfield, it's actually going to coming to Switch.
Yeah, then I'll pick it up when it comes to Switch because
Yeah.
I can't sit in front of my TV and do that. I just can't.
with them
Mm-hmm.
sprite graphics.
Yeah, it's just like why? Like, because the graphics don't matter to me for a strategy game. Like, it's
Yeah.
how well this story is told. Admittedly, the only one I don't particularly care for, which I saw everyone kind of excited for, the Turtles collection. I just don't. I'm
Oh,
not that interested in the history of the Turtle games.
I'm just happy I
interesting.
don't have to spend quarters on that damn game. That game was you could they could have made a mint the amount of money people threw into arcades for that stupid ass game.
Yeah, like 13 games. I'm sure all of them, if each of them has their own trophies, they're great for trophy farming. But like, I was like, yeah, okay, the Turtles, cool. But I'm far more interested in a new one that's coming. So like, I only tend to care about that one. And that game
Is the Turtle
Giga Bash
Collection coming with the new Ninja Turtles game, or they're separate?
No.
is separate.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, it's got nothing for me. I'm like, I don't know. It does nothing for me. And
I
same
feel
with
you.
like Giga Bash, but like that's similar to War Monsters, and War Monsters was kind of funny. Um,
It did look like Destroy All Monsters a little bit.
yeah. So I was like, okay, that's cool enough for that's some good, I guess, PlayStation Spartacus fodder right there for me. Like
Yeah,
that is
I'm not
something
paying
that will,
I'm not paying $60 or $70 for that though. They
yeah,
got me
like
fucked up.
Which
that
game?
The
Giga Bash.
the Godzilla ripoff game.
Yeah.
Huh? Godzilla ripoff.
Yeah, the Giga
But
Bash with the giant kaiju. It's like
yeah.
Destroy All Monsters ripoff.
Oh yeah, no, that's
But JoJo's my highlight. Like
yeah,
I'm so
JoJo.
very excited for that. I remember playing a JoJo Fighter years ago. I don't even know what it was on.
We
Maybe
should be,
PS.
you guys now should be able to see us talking. It's just I don't have the ability to showcase Jubei's face cam and Dante cam's face cam. As for JoJo, the fact that they showing having Jolene in it make me excited for it because she is new and they are capitalizing on her popularity.
Yeah, and 50
Yeah.
playable characters, all of them weird and
I
exciting.
hope it's broken. I really honestly hope it's broken. I was watching footage from that Fist of the North Star game from
Million characters, all of
PS2.
them weird.
The
and
really,
exciting.
really broken one. Where you just dunk. You can literally dunk and bounce a character like a fucking basketball across the damn arena.
I
Like,
was
I
gonna
mean,
say, with 50 characters, I feel like there's no way it's not broken.
yeah, like I was about to say.
I want this game to be Touch of Death, the game. Like it needs to be. It literally everybody needs to just have something nonsense. Yeah, and Scott Hall passed away. I know.
Yeah, I was
I
literally
know.
about to say. So
I know.
before I continue, I'm gonna give a tribute to Scott Hall, but I also want to give a tribute to Kalel
Yes,
from Tick
absolutely.
Game Podcast. He also passed away last night.
Yep.
It's heartbreaking. He is the one that had me as a writer for Tick
Yep.
podcast, and I was on his show as a co-host for almost like a year or something like that. Great dude, a family dude, and a respectful gamer. And yeah, continue, Pharaoh. No, Jubei, you're complaining about what's called JoJo.
Yeah. I just want it to be broken. Like I need it to be broken. I need another game like that in my life
Oh,
where
so
like
you want to?
literally I want it to be every character has some cheap and cheesy mechanic that it just comes down to you whiff on your block, you die. You just die. You sit there and eat it,
I
and
mean,
that's the game.
it makes sense, right? Like you're literally gonna have Giorgio Giovanna. This motherfucker is literally broken.
Yeah, exactly. And the game needs to convey that. That's why I was like, when Fist of the North Star did it, like it made sense because it's just like all them battles is fatal, real fatal potentially.
Yeah.
So
Um. Zero. Any else you wanna add?
No, that's it. Like I said, I enjoyed the show. I certainly get why people didn't. But like I really liked it. It was the closest I felt they've gotten a long time to like a Nintendo Direct. I hope that they do more of those. I know we're getting one on Thursday, which is not that. That's just probably focused on Hogwarts. But like, I would prefer more of the like, here's these kind of cool, interesting, quirky games that we got also coming to the PlayStation.
they're only doing Hogwarts because I think there's a contract involved. Remember, they revealed Hogwarts at one of their state of plays, so I
I'm
think they
so
got
worried
some
Yeah,
kind
about
with
of
this
that.
one they're
marketing.
only doing
They
Harvard.
got some
Yeah.
kind of marketing with it,
I'm
so
so
they
worried
kind of
about
have
that
to.
game.
So we're gonna actually talk about that later because there's a controversy around this game. Well, not the game,
Yeah.
but the author. Jubei, how do you feel about this
Hmm.
state of play? Were you were you impressed? Not impressed?
The most recent one.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I honestly, I watched it, but I wasn't all super excited. Like outside of JoJo and but pretty much outside of JoJo, I didn't really care because
Mm,
I'm not a Returnal fan, so that did nothing for me. It's like, oh, more broke only with co-op. Um,
mm.
yeah,
Okay.
like it like as I mean, as far as like a show, like I'm glad it was only 20 minutes. It didn't overstay its welcome, but um, like Zero, I'm probably going to be playing a Deal Field on some kind of mobile device. But
It's
that's
actually
just
on PC, I think.
yeah. I'll probably be getting that on the Steam Deck. Then I'm not going to be getting that on console like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pharaoh, were you
Yeah.
impressed? I'm pretty sure you were not. You were complaining about it.
No, I didn't complain about the show itself. I
No, you're
thought the show
complaining
itself
about the
was
representation.
yes. I complained about the marketing of the show. I said that the marketing was a little disingenuous. But I thought the show was really good. I said I thought the show was really good. I always said that the show was really good. I just felt that, uh, when you say that it's a special Japanese focus, I'm expecting to see different publishers than your regular publishers who are at every state of play. I see Square Enix at every state of play. I see Bandai at every state of play. I'm expecting to see new things that I'm not accustomed to seeing when you're saying that you're giving a special focus um, to
Yeah,
something.
and like
Uh,
I mean, even Devolver was there. Like there was nothing like
Devolver is based out of Texas. They're not a Japanese
Like for
company. The premise wasn't that we're gonna see Japanese games. The premise was that we were gonna see a special focus on Japanese publishers. So I was expecting to see more publishers than we're used to seeing, even if it
so
was
you
just on
was
a sizzle
expecting
reel.
a Sega and an Atlas, for example.
No, I was expecting some of the smaller Japanese studios to be there, not your regular,
Oh, that's what
not
you
just your
mean.
not your regular guys who are at every single state of play. The guys who are normally at your state of plays, I'm not expecting to see them. I mean, I'm expecting to see them, but I'm expecting the what makes it special is that you're featuring some of the some things that we aren't typically used to seeing. So
Gotcha. Okay. What, which game are you excited for the most from State of Play?
uh, from state of play, probably the Turtles collection, because I'll probably play that with my kids. My
Yeah.
kids like Ninja Turtles, so I mean, like as a dad, it's like and I like Ninja Turtles myself growing up, so that probably sticks out to me the most out of everything that I saw there, honestly. But um, I mean, there were no games that quote unquote like spoke out to me that were day one purchases. I mean, Forspoken was there, and I've been excited about the game, but it just doesn't look like it's getting, quite the polish that it needs up to this point. Maybe I might feel differently in six
Wait,
months,
you didn't see the new gameplay? The new gameplay showed
right?
it in a way better light.
But it still didn't look good to me. Just because it looks better doesn't mean it looks good. So
Gotcha.
like you can have a room that's a filthy mess, and you can clean up half the room, and yeah, the room looks better, but the room's still, kind of a mess. So, um, I mean, like you know, I'm a big fan of Square Games, so I was kind of wait and see, um, with that. So I'm cautiously optimistic when it comes
If
to
you're
Forspoken. I won't say
if
that I'm
you're a
excited about it.
if you're a fan of Square, have you ever played a game called Oninaki?
I don't think I've played that
I
one.
highly recommend it. It's a long game, 50 hours something, but
50 hours isn't long.
it's such a fun game. I highly recommend it. Got great story, fantastic combat, and it's an almost like an action game. But there's a demo. You can download it on PlayStation 4 and 5. I think 5 or 4, yeah. And if you like, it's also on Switch and PlayStation and Steam, I think. Yeah, it's on Steam. But it's not on Xbox. Um, Other than that, Dante, we're gonna get to you and then me. The not Dino Crisis game. How do you feel about that one?
Are you muted, Dante?
Let me see. Yeah, he muted himself. Maybe he's busy or something.
No, he started to talk.
Yeah, I honestly could give two shits.
Were you bamboozled like the rest of us?
What?
Were you
You
bamboozled?
bamboozle.
No, not really.
Oh, okay. So, what's your take on stage play? Not
Nah,
interested? Okay.
not really interested in anything they showed. I mean, I don't have Returnal, so I'm not interested in anything that has. I'm glad the Valkyrie series is continuing. I'm glad JoJo's getting a new game. Could give two shits about the Turtle collection because I ain't giving Konami any more of my money. And Ghostwire, I already knew I was going to buy that because it's Shinji Mikami, so there's nothing else from the step play that even interested me.
Okay.
So none of you,
As
none of
for
you like
oh,
Gundam Evolution. You're all horrible people.
nah, I
Each
Gundam
and every
like
one.
Gundam. Don't fuck with it when it's online too. It's literally FPS with Gundam. That's how it feels to me.
I don't
Probably
mind. I don't mind that it's a free. I don't mind if it's FPS because I mean, there's been many mech games that have been first person which have been fantastic. My problem is with the words free to play.
Yeah, I agree. Game of Life Service is
Team Fortress
detrimental.
is free to play.
Which game?
Team Fortress is free to play.
Yeah, but I'm not. But that's been. But it wasn't originally.
I hope that Gundam Evolution gets Game of the Year.
Okay,
That's
as
my
for
number
me,
one thing right
Can
now.
you
as,
can you send me some of that crack you're smoking because I could use some of it right now.
I
as,
refuse. For
as
hating
for
on
me,
Gundam Evolution, I refuse.
as, as for as for me, the JoJo was a nice one. I must actually get it. I'm looking for fighting games that unique, that remind me with Bloody Roar. That can I get sink my teeth into it and just have fun, break the game. I like what Jubei said. The best thing about a fighting game is you find a way to break it. Any game. Um, I'm surprised no one sent anything about Trichonomy. Like I know the game is going on Game Pass day one, but still, this game looks great. It's basically Sifu with Ghost of Tsushima uh, paint, and I'm loving it. that I'm sold on it. Other than that, Ninja Turtle, that's literally nostalgia. That's literally nostalgia. Nostalgia is a heck of a drug. Um, Returnal, that was a surprise. Not that getting DLC, everybody and their mother knew that. It's that getting a DLC that's literally co-op. Like, I'm loving PlayStation Move with this. What I mean by that is, uh, send out your game, and a year later, give us a co-op, give us a DLC. I'm now genuinely expecting DLC and co-op with Forbidden West. I would absolutely not be surprised if Forbidden West gets a DLC. Apparently, it leaks that it's getting a DLC. It's gonna get a co-op DLC. If you play the game, you know what I'm talking about. Um, Ghostwire Tokyo. I already got that on my PlayStation, ready for it to come out. Forspoken.
You ready for that nice Xbox Game Studios logo?
I don't mind.
Just giving you shit, dude.
Yeah, I know. I love what I've seen from Diofield, cause I'm looking for games like that to play. I started a game called Valkyrie Chronicle, and I didn't get far to it because other game came around. But I'm definitely gonna get back to Valkyrie Chronicle, prepare myself for what's called Diofield. The best thing that I like about Diofield is that's an action strategy game. So I'm not turn-based, not per se that much turn-based, which I love. Other than that, Valkyrie Elysium, yeah, again, another game I'm excited about. I love fantasy setting. I love hack and slash games. This literally up to my alley, and I'm interested in seeing if I'm gonna be lost because I never played the original games. But I knew exactly that the Valkyrie game when they literally first showcased the main character. Like, she has that distinguished look with the helmet. So you have. Which game am I missing? You have. Mm, mm, mm. I think I name dropped them all. If I forgot one, yeah. So the not Dino Crisis one, that's a pass for me. I don't care. And the Gundam, that's a pass for me. And the Kaijo game, I'm also not a fan, not interested in that. Other than that, yeah, no, this was an excellent state of play for me. 8 out of 10. Because a lot of games I've seen, I'm excited to play them. And with that being said, let's go to the next state of play, which PlayStation just announced that over Thursday, Wednesday, I mean, they have a new state of play. This one is going to be Hogwarts, Harry Potter Hogwarts, specifically focused. Apparently 20 minutes of gameplay and then 10 minute commentary from the developers. And apparently after the show, they have an announcement to make that they're excited about. And that sparks up some conspiracy theories. I'm gonna start with Dante. Are you interested in this game? Or state to play in general?
In which game?
Harry Potter, the new one.
I need to see more of it. From the little I've seen, it looks interesting. We've not had a Harry Potter game in a hot minute. I think since the PlayStation 2. So it'll be nice to see what else they could do with the world. Because really, with a saying like Harry Potter, you're limited by your imagination. So I'm interested to see what they could do with that.
Gotcha. Because from the apparently the new game, there was a small clip the gameplay, it almost feels like a Soul game. So I'm interested to how it's well gonna do. Yeah.
I don't think it's
Other
going to be that. It might look like it gameplay wise, but I don't think it's going to be a Souls
we will
game. It
see.
doesn't really work.
I really hope that it's not an online game. I want it to be a single player game, so I enjoy it, and I don't need microtransaction and loot boxes. Um, so Dante, I gotta ask, do you have any issue with the author of Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling? And are you aware of the controversy surrounding her?
No, because I kind of zoned her out with some of the shit that comes out of her mouth anyway.
Good shit.
Which is the best way to approach it.
Yep,
Yep.
I agree.
She has nothing to do with this project. It doesn't even have Harry Potter in the name. It's literally Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah.
Harry Potter is not listed in the name.
Yeah, and more importantly, her contribution. Yes, she created it. Sure, whatever. You get your flowers, you get your kudos, but like her contribution to the series ended, almost 10 years ago? Right, because she's not involved with any of the new movies, so it ended when the last movie ended.
Yep. She's not a consultant. She's not shit. She's just.
Yeah. And
she just
WB
exists.
rightly knew to we're gonna keep this chick away from our possibly $1 billion franchise game here.
So did she not get any check from this one?
I'm sure she probably does because she owns the rights to all of it. They probably already paid her.
Yeah. They had to get permission to make this anyway.
Yeah,
but
everything.
She's not going to be involved. It's like, we're going to give you a royalty check, but you're not going to be involved in the creative process.
Yeah, you get a check and you go away. She will be sort of, although I think he sold all of it, but similar to Lucas, right? Like, for a while he wasn't necessarily intimately involved in anything Star Wars, but he got a check. This is his stuff. You got to pay him to use it.
Okay.
So Rolling, I mean, the game just seems to be plagued with a lot of things. Rolling is like the least of their concern, really.
What do you mean?
I think they had directors leave and story leads leave. I think that's part one of their developers quit.
I mean, that's literally happening now with the initiative. So, what you gonna do? People leave and come and go.
Doesn't make me feel confident about your very big game. Harry Potter is massive.
I feel
hope that it's well. I agree with you, but it's not going to be anything Souls-like because it needs to be approachable to people.
It does. They would literally torpedo their own sales if they tried to do that. This game. Even with the leaks that came out.
Do they look at the Elden Ring?
Yes. No. Not even in the same ballpark.
I mean,
kids are going to be fucking playing this. Kids are not playing Elden Ring. Kids will absolutely be playing this damn Hogwarts Legacy game. They absolutely will. It's marketed to children, and adults just happen to like it.
Or even the adults who grew up with it. It's still traditionally it's just like Pokemon.
Yep. Exactly.
What you need to remember about the Harry Potter license is adults and kids are going to be playing this, but this is geared more towards kids because that's what the current movies are geared towards.
Yes.
Yep.
People like me, we grew up with Harry Potter. When I was a really young Dante Crisis, Philosopher's Stone came out. When I was coming into my adulthood, The Deathly Hallows Part 2 was coming out. I grew up with this series. So this game would be targeted to the nostalgia of the old fans, but also very focused on the impressions of the new fans with the new movies.
Grindelwald.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fantastic Beasts.
Exactly.
Fantastic Beasts and where they are. Yeah.
It being in the late 1800s though, it's I don't know how many current characters, if any,
honestly
really see.
I think partially good, because
it's kind of like a
it's a blank
slate.
Yeah, it's a blank
slate. You don't have any of the baggage. There's no Voldemort. There's always been dark wizards because there's always going to be good and evil. But like it's their chance to tell something new and interesting with the universe, and you actually get to make a character in it.
Yeah, so like, 'cause, you avoid the Star Wars problems of being stuck in a universe and having to play by a very specific set of rules. Well, you
No,
skip
no,
all of that.
that's Disney Star Wars problems.
Mm,
No, because before, like Knights of the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic and the Old Republic wasn't hampered by those issues, and
they did the
those
exact same
games.
thing Hogwarts is doing. They went
No, but
way back.
yeah, and that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
they went to a part in time where you weren't involved with a specific family of space wizards
Oh
that
yeah,
just
exactly. But I'm just
the
saying.
damn galaxy.
No, I'm agreeing with the parallels, but like they didn't. But back then they even had more freedom because you also had games like the Star Wars Starfighter and Star Wars Jedi Starfighter
True.
games,
Yeah.
which happened during. You had Star Wars Bounty Hunter. You had Star Wars Republic Commandos.
We had Rogue
And
Squadron.
Rogue Squadron, and all back in the day, all those games were considered canon to the overall universe, to the extended universe. It wasn't until Disney came along and said, "Yeah, all that good writing, nix it."
Get rid of it. Yeah. So as long as they stay away from what I think the '90s, that's when uh,
Early
Harry Potter. Yeah, '90s, early 2000s when Harry takes place. Um, we shouldn't meet Harry. We shouldn't make any mention of him.
Nope, he shouldn't exist. He's not even in a testicle sack at this point.
Here's the thing: you could have references because you could, if we're going that far back in time, you could meet one of Harry Potter's ancestors.
Yeah,
That'd be a nice little Easter
Yeah,
egg.
you could you could see somebody with that name, but like I could see like James Potter's grandfather or
Great-grandfather,
something.
yeah.
Yeah,
something
like that would be better. Yeah, please do that. But I'm excited to see it this Thursday. I look forward to seeing what they have to show. I hope it's something good. Like I feel like there isn't enough, and like maybe somebody help me out if I can't think of it. Like magic. Like there's like magic in games. Like even Destiny has quote unquote magic, but like your very basic wand in hand spell casting magic.
Yeah, like you have Trine. Trine
I don't.
exists.
Yeah, like Trine's there. Like I don't feel like that's in a lot of games anymore or ever. I can't think of a game where like you have this like very basic wizard magic where like you have this wand and you shoot spells.
I hope we're involved in like the learning process of these spells since we are going to school. I think that'd be pretty neat. Like, you could pick like a different like a certain like affinity like at school and focus on learning and improving that. And that's kind of just how you build your character out based on like the classes you take or some shit. I don't know what they're gonna do. We have to
I mean,
we
in a
have to see it.
perfect world, you get this sort of Fire Emblem Three Houses aspect, but sort of maybe more action RPG where you do exactly that. Like you participate in classes that like you specifically want to learn skills in.
Yeah, but
Rather
I
than everything.
like take like the best school parts from Bully and just throw it in there. Let me get that.
Yeah. So like that
but-
would be awesome.
They also, I also think that we also need to be able to go the not so happy route, if possible. Like if I want to be villainous, not necessarily Dark Lord villainous, but if I want to be not a goody guy, I should have that option.
So we don't really know anything. We know basically
Yeah,
zero,
we know nothing.
right?
We know
Okay.
nothing.
Because I was curious, like,
like
About
this is
the
all
game.
this is all hopes and dreams.
yeah.
Like, here's the thing. PlayStation, this is, for far I remember, this is the very first time PlayStation is literally doing a state of play for a multiplayer.
Focus fully on it.
Yeah, focus only, exactly. So, I'm curious, maybe they have their marketing right for it?
They do because they initially showed the initial reveal on State of Play. Like there's some kind of money there.
Didn't they do one for Deathloop?
They did do one for Deathloop. Yes, they did.
Did they do one for Deathloop?
They did. Deathloop got its own State of Play. Yep, and it had gameplay.
Okay, then
No, it's not necessarily the first time. But since that was marketed as a PlayStation exclusive, I get what you're saying. But this isn't marketed as that because we know it's
No, no,
going
this is
everywhere
not.
day one.
This is not a marketed as PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah,
Other than
right.
that, yeah, no. Pharaoh, are you interested in the game?
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Are you interested in the game?
Um, Not necessarily. Not at the moment.
Dang,
I think I gotta see a little bit more.
dang. He said, "I'm not feeling the magic."
I mean, I've
Restop.
never bought I've never bought a Harry Potter game.
I feel you. I
So
feel you. But here's the
I need
thing.
something. I need something that's gonna, pull me in eventually.
Yeah,
That's
that's
like,
why gameplay, but also a demo would be helpful. Like, I can't stress this enough. If Guardian of the Galaxy had a demo, it would have sold way more. Um, if this game gets a demo, that's a W. I truly believe every game should have a demo. Zero, what's your take on this? You're getting this? You're excited for this show? Okay.
I am, yes. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan.
Mm.
So I still currently play the mobile game Hogwarts Legacy. Not Hogwarts Legacy, whatever the other one is, whatever it's called. Um, so I absolutely look forward to this. I just hope it's interesting. Like, I'm surprised it took this long to get a proper Harry Potter games. There's been other ones around.
Yeah,
Or
I mean,
excuse
I
me.
was playing them. I was playing them bitches on the GBA, bro. On the
Yeah,
Game Boy
like
Advance. You know what I'm talking about too.
yeah,
Them rough games.
yeah. Like they've never had anybody take their property relatively seriously.
You get like 3 spells, and most of that is playing hide and seek with the teachers trying to run around stealthily in the school.
Yeah. Although I'll admit, the Lego Harry Potters are pretty solid.
Oh yeah, no, Lego Harry Potter is solid for real, and I also
I
pre-ordered Lego
mean,
Star Wars, so I'm gonna be
isn't
copping
there's
everything.
a
every single Lego game solid?
For the
For
most
damn,
part.
there's a
damn
Lego
near,
sale, by the way.
damn near.
There's like 80% sale on Lego games. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's from
But
Xbox, but I'm pretty
but
sure
it's
it's like
not
all the time.
Lego Star Wars though. I'm not getting eighty
Lego
percent
Star
off
Wars is
the
part of the
Star.
is part of the sale.
So the Skywalker saga is part of the sale.
No, the Skywalker Saga has
Yeah,
not released yet.
exactly,
It hasn't
exactly.
released yet.
I'm not hampering to play any other Lego Star Wars games except the Lego Star Wars game that combines all these
Doesn't
Lego
it come
Star
out in like
Wars
two
things together.
weeks? Two, three
Something like
weeks?
that. Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Me and my kiddo will be playing that for sure.
By the way, as for me, I'm excited because again, way more games to play, and I want to see what game is about.
Yeah,
Either it's gonna be a day one for me or wait for sale. Depend if it's Game of the Life service, which that's my fear.
I hope there's not like a spell meter though, because there's no such thing as a spell meter in Harry Potter.
I mean, if you don't give them spell meter, you're gonna be broken.
Not really. They could implement some kind of like wand mechanic where you have to do the movements to do the spells, which
Oh,
I would
okay.
take. You see what I'm saying? Like that wand movement is important in this universe. So I could
Nah,
see
nah.
them.
There's gonna be a durability system on on your wands.
Oh
That's what I
god,
was thinking. Your wand probably won't.
just
Uh,
wand just busts. Like, oh yeah, that
and
good
you gotta
wand
go back,
technology.
and you gotta go back to Ollivanders each time.
Yeah,
And get a new wand.
you end up with the Ronald Weasley curse, and you just got garbage.
Yeah, and there's gonna be a weaponsmith there and everything. You can pimp out your wand and everything. Get that black and gold skin on it and shit.
Okay.
Hilarious.
As for yeah, let's get to the next topic, which is. Did you see Dante, or do I need to send it to you?
Is it the From Software devs on
Yeah.
Happy? Yeah, no, I tried to look this up, and I think you have like the one person talking about this because I have not seen anything else about this.
Yeah.
So it's a nothing burger, you think?
I mean, if it's not widespread, I don't think it is.
I would also say my perspective
Let's keep it then.
feels always odd when people pick and choose about how
No,
devs
but
are treated.
this is literally known in the industry in the Japanese industry, especially with the anime industry. But let's skip it then, and let's focus then on Xbox Showcase.
You
Apparently,
also got to understand culturally, they really enjoy working and they take a lot of
There is
pride
a
in the
big
work that they
giant
do.
difference. Yeah.
they
They
don't.
absolutely they do. Like if
Tell me
they
what
are
you
at
meant.
work. They are at work a lot.
They must. They don't. Dude, they literally work till 7 or something like that. They don't enjoy it. Trust me. Other
But
than
it's just the culture. Like you don't gotta enjoy it, but that's just like
you literally
Japan
just
is
said
known
they
for like
enjoy it.
it's culturally known that they just have they are a hardworking country and they work ridiculous hours, but they also take advantage of their not work time also.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not like game developers are not. You can't turn around and say that about game developers when it's literally a lot of companies in Japan are the exact same way. Not just game
And a
developers.
lot of the companies, even in the same industries, are always doing like some kind of collaboration of some kind. Like working together to solve a problem is a big Japanese cultural thing. That togetherness, that oneness is all cultural. And they feel like if they're not pulling their part, on a project, like that's culturally, going to be frowned upon. And hence, like even the apologies for like Platinum with what happened with the whole Xbox fiasco, like just the unrelenting and obnoxious apologies
Yeah,
for that.
just a quick goddamn Google average desk job time in Japan. The basic working hours are 7 or 8 hours from 9 a.m. to 7 or 6 p.m. for 5 or 6 days per week. However,
Yep.
many workers stay in the office until much later, for example, until 9 p.m. or 10 p.m.
Yep.
Yeah.
To make sure
And they
work is
go.
And
done.
By the time they home,
I believe they do get paid the overtime.
by the time they go home, it's almost 12 p.m.
Yeah.
And by the time they need to wake up at 6 or 5:30. Like it's insane. But
I
yeah,
By
get
the
that,
way,
but I mean, but it's also culturally acceptable to just literally just go out and drink with your coworkers and your boss like all the time. Like that's totally okay.
I'm curious. The article that they accuse about bad work environments and unhappy, is that from Pledge Times?
let me pull up the article real quick.
Because that's literally the only goddamn play. That's literally the top thing. From Software unhappy. Google that. That's literally the only one talking about it. Everything else is From Software unhappy with Poise, plans to make improvement. Don't know when that's from. Like Elden Ring getting review bombed on
Yeah,
PC by
because
unhappy.
this is literally a Japanese article.
Doesn't look Japanese to me.
It's literally Japanese. I just went to the site.
What Pledge Times?
It said its source is career connection dot
So
gp slash
yeah.
review slash 569991.
So I just
And
looked
if
it
you go
up.
to the
Let's
site, it's in
you
Japanese.
got to understand what career connection seems to be to us over in the states, and they probably have it in your area too, Dante. Seems career connection looks like the equivalent to Glassdoor over here.
Yep, where you talk shit about your employer or not.
So while it is telling to have this, if it operates in a similar way to Glassdoor does, it's hard to get a full picture on what's exactly happening.
Yep.
Because
There's always going to be people unhappy with whatever situation. It never fails. You are not going to make everybody happy.
yeah, and like people are very specifically might be complaining about very specific things. So then you have to go into what the actual complaints are saying. Because are these developers making them? Because there are other people other than developers in this company. Is it accountants? Is it the marketing team? Like who's making the complaints? If From Software is good to their developers but bad to their finance team, like they are still going to get a bad review on this place. And of course, I don't know because I don't read Japanese, so I can't necessarily read everything they're going to say. But that's just my perception of how I'm looking so far. You could probably spend more time digging deep into it, and maybe there's some truth to be told. But like right now, this reads just like Glassdoor, in Glassdoor, it's really hard to nail down just what specifically is the problem here. Also, unless you register for the account, then you can look at everything you want, but like you got to pay.
And then it even says it's like, I think it's very difficult to continue unless you're involved in the production. Like,
We
what
needed
the hell does that mean?
we needed coffee. We needed coffee for this one. It was being able to translate because it's literally in Japanese. Here's the thing. Why do I believe it? Because the this is literally an issue in the anime industry. If you look up anime industry,
But they're literally just talking about low pay for the workload, low pay for the amount of work that they do, and women not really getting maternity leave because 10% of their staff is women. And they
yeah.
don't have a maternity leave thing, so it's very specific things.
But you would expect that so for a company that won Game of the Year to improve, don't you?
Not
Exactly.
really. There's a reason.
Again,
yes, really.
the low pay for the workload, we don't know. This isn't specific enough for us to pinpoint what roles those people are even in. For one.
Second, as far as like Japanese, like this is more of a recent thing in Japan, especially in game development. Is a lot more active women in game development as well. So this is something that's going to need some time to get footing on. Like, okay, we need to. Okay, so you want maternity leave? Okay, right. Okay, we need to start putting a plan ahead for like the next couple of years to get all this going because again, more Japanese women in the workplace, especially in game development, is more of a newer thing. Like I'm not talking like immediate recent, but like the last 5 years recent.
Yep.
Okay. Maybe.
I also think you just look for any excuse to hate on From Software.
No,
I don't think it's like that. I get it, like because we're constantly being bombarded with like the negativity that comes with the medium that we enjoy.
See,
I just don't think with this particular thing I just don't think there's enough here for us to make a good argument about whether what's valid and what's not. Because like I said, if you're on the QA team, you sign up for that, bro. Like, you signed up to test this big ass game. Like,
we needed coffee for that one. Cause he can always do his research in a much broader way than us. Because we don't have any Japanese connection. But I truly believe it, and maybe we're gonna get back to it. And so here's the thing. This is apparently has just happened. Ian Davis, lead gameplay animator. You know that dude that worked at Naughty Dog and then went to the Initiative?
Yeah, sure.
He just left the Initiative to Deviation Games. So,
it happens. We're also talking about a very high turnover industry.
But how many in the past 6 months almost 3-4 people left the Initiative?
Does it matter? If I'm in the game industry and somebody offers me more money to do what I'm currently doing, I don't give a fuck what I'm working on. I'm gonna leave what I'm doing currently and go make more money for the same amount of work.
Really?
Yeah.
Nah.
That is a very American thing to do.
Okay.
Initiatives are the guys making Perfect Dark, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, especially when like the studios aren't that far apart. Like you're not like moving.
Exactly, like you're going down the street. You're going down the street.
But Xbox is literally the one that pushed this studio as quadruple A studio.
Okay, but then why isn't it a thing when Sony employees are getting poached to go to these studios?
Because
why did you leave Sony? You work for Sony. Like, why did you leave this great company? Like, people have their reasons for doing things.
Didn't we also go over that quadruple A thing and we realized it was a fuck up?
Yeah.
Also, it's just marketing speak, even if like it wasn't, right? It's just marketing speak. Like,
no. It was not hold up. It was not a fuck up. What's his name? Adam Greenberg on camera said it.
But
again, no, it's marketing jargon. Like, that's
like
a buzzword.
what does quadruple A mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, nobody has an answer for
What
that.
is true? What? All right. The A class is in regards to budget. It doesn't mean
So
anything about this is gonna be the best game ever.
It's
When
just
you
how
say
much
it's
does it
triple A,
cost?
yes, it's in regard to budget. Like that's all AAA means is that we spent a ton of money on it. It doesn't mean that the game's gonna actually be good. Like just like AAA games don't mean good games. They just mean that
Right.
we spent a lot of money making a game. That we hired a lot of people to do a job. It doesn't mean they all did a good job.
this is genuinely, if this was a PlayStation studio, I would look at them with the side eye. I'm
Like,
not joking.
and then the thing is, Initiative has been recruiting people to fucking try to get on Perfect Dark for like a year, bro.
And yet
Like
you didn't.
they
And yet no one.
they
Hold on.
constantly are begging, like, hey, come work for us. It's like they don't have the staff, or maybe
Like
they
that's
don't have the
crazy.
staff.
Well,
That
now they
Here's the
partner with
thing,
Crystal
Omar.
Dynamics, so
Yeah,
Crystal Dynamics
that's
is
why they
probably,
partner with Crystal
like leading
Dynamics.
the way on a lot of it.
Omar, you're always on. You're always on. Microsoft's nuts for the whole fucking quadruple A thing. Where's the equal treatment for Ubisoft?
What do you mean?
They said the same shit about Beyond Good and Evil 2 and Skull and Bones.
They did. And
Have
Skull and
you
Bones,
hold
Skull and
up,
Bones
hold
can't
up,
even come out.
hold on. Have you never heard me call out Ubisoft for what's called Beyond Good and Evil 2?
No,
I
never
literally
heard you get on them for saying that it's a quadruple A game.
I literally came out and said what I've seen is absolutely not it. I've literally berated them.
Because there's nothing out about that. No, how can you say what you've seen when we've seen fuck all from Beyond Good and Evil 2 since its first announcement?
We did. Hold up. There is a leaked gameplay where they showcase. No, not leaked. It's literally a developer showcased you the gameplay for Beyond Good and Evil 2.
When was this? Because the only time
Give me a second
because the
for.
official announcement was 2016.
Now
And
they
then
showed gameplay. Beyond Good. They showed you flying and then Beyond Good and Evil 2 gameplay. Now they actually showed gameplay. I watched it.
Yeah, all I remember is a CG trailer for
Here,
that game. I don't remember gameplay.
All I
Say.
needed is 2 seconds, and I got the gameplay. Here, it's literally on YouTube. On YouTube, what's called
yes,
Ubisoft.
from 4 years ago.
Yeah, but still
But
gameplay.
we've heard nothing from it since.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I literally said this game is dead on arrival. Like, if you heard me, I have literally berated them for this one. Ubisoft is trash with this one. They not almost, I'm pretty sure they killed the IP. I would
Maybe.
absolutely not be surprised if they cancel this game.
We also don't know why the dude, the director from Perfect Dark left. I mean, it could have been health reasons, it could have been anything. Like, the fact that he left doesn't really matter. If you don't have a contingency plan, if you haven't, since the inception of this game, mapped out exactly what you're trying to do, there's a reason why you have planned steps for these
Also,
things.
by
So,
the
because
way-
people are going to leave, you could die in the middle of production. Oh, your game ain't going to be made because one of the devs died. No, it's still going to go. And games have still been made with people on teams that have left or died, passed away, what have you, because you have a plan. As long as you have a plan, it doesn't matter who's really helming it,
by the way,
unless they're going to want to make changes.
for someone like Omar who always champions we need to wait until the game actually is finished to look at it, like, he's really on this game's nuts for being dead on arrival when this is like pre alpha footage.
No, because I literally said I am not about that online shit. What's called Beyond Good and Evil was never about online. It was an offline game, and they should have just stuck to the formula that they had with the first one. Heck, I would even take what they showcased, the cancelled one, when they showcased it. Like, I have always been consistent when it comes to online shit. I don't fuck with online games. And I call them dead on arrival because games as a live service, 99% of the time, they always die. Look at Babylon Fall. Literally, they came out, developers came out and said, how can we improve Babylon Fall visual-wise? Give us suggestions. If you go to the
Yeah.
Twitter, they literally tweeted that it out. Like, I want this shit to die. So we actually get great games. A game like Guardian of the Galaxy. Guardian of the Galaxy would have been looked at 10 times percent, not 10 times, 100% more if Avengers didn't exist.
Yeah,
Like-
I want to know where you're getting that it's a because like I'm looking at the official Wikipedia and like the game I'm seeing the game will have single player and cooperative player support. Even as a single player, the player can participate in a shared universe with some events affecting other players at the same time. Beyond Good and Evil 2 will require an internet connection, which that's that. The problem is that's the same for pretty much every fucking game out there
Yeah.
now, unfortunately.
But this is literally Ubisoft. If you played the Assassin's Creed games, the later one, you know how they do their business. And I'm not about that life. If your game is
But
single
how do
player,
you know concretely? How do you know it was a game as a live service?
because Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed, I describe game as a live service with I get behind loot boxes and stuff like that. That's what I describe them.
That's not really a game as a live service, though. The game's not changing. Because in that case, any game that
Games
has
are-
an expansion, and if that's the case, then Horizon is also a games as a service because they had a whole expansion that you had to pay for. Like
Horizon
Assassin's Creed sells you expansions, and you can buy cosmetics that don't really
Live service games is
affect much
something
of the
that
game.
is constantly
Live
giving
service
you
game.
new
Sea of
things
Thieves
to do each
is
week.
a live service game. There are new
Like-
events. There are new seasons. There's always something new to do within a given amount of time. That's
Rainbow
not
Six Extraction.
Rainbow Six Extraction. Same thing.
Uh,
Hell, Siege.
Rainbow
Siege is a live. Siege
Excuse
is a
me,
live
yeah,
service
Siege.
game.
Destiny 2. Destiny 2.
Destiny
especially
2.
with the more recent raids.
Yeah, like that is a game as a service. Like
Loot boxes and microtransactions are a byproduct of games as a live service.
But they don't define it?
That doesn't make the
doesn't
game a
make
game
it.
as a live service because microtransactions have been around for quite a while. Once Call of Duty got in bed with, we're gonna show you these map packs, it was over. Like
Gotcha.
we've been dealing with that for that long.
Has anybody played Far Cry 6? Is that a games as live service?
I don't consider it one, but there's a fuck ton of microtransactions.
I do consider it one because of that. Because
But you can't. If a game does not have seasons, it's not a game as a service. It has to have seasons. It has to. It literally has to. Something drastic has to change about the game every so often. And not just one-off expansions that you can pay for. Like, it has to be a continual thing. If it doesn't have a
games as
season
live
pass, if it
service.
doesn't have like a Forza, that's a game as a service. There's seasons.
Hold
It's
on.
a seasonal game. Sea of Thieves,
Oh.
games as a service.
Hold on.
Like-
Of the official Wikipedia, games as a service are ways to monetize video games either after their initial sale or to support a free-to-play model. Games released under GAS model typically receive a long and indefinite stream of monetized new content over time.
Yep.
To encourage players to continue playing to support the game. So I guess microtransactions and loot boxes could fall under that category.
yeah, that's why I call them games as live service. In other news, the Halo Season 1 is sitting right now at 54% on Rotten Tomato.
The show?
The show?
Yeah, the show.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't. The show came out.
Apparently, it's only for critics, I think. You guys are gonna be able to watch it later. But I don't know what I'm gonna say. But other than that, Xbox is hosting its own event. I don't know when. Do you guys, Jube or Pharaoh, do you guys know when?
I'm working right now.
I don't know the exact date, but it's not really a Xbox event. It's Xbox
March 24th.
sponsoring an
It's
event
supposed to
for
drop March
indies.
24th. It's supposed to drop March 24th.
Yeah, they're
So
sponsoring an event for indies. It's not really a Xbox
Oh,
event. You won't see any Xbox games there.
you might.
It's a
It's
spot.
gonna. It's ID at Xbox. So anything
Yeah,
that they've had a hand in is gonna be there.
but
I
is
mean it
it?
might be a part of Xbox Global Publishing, but
Right. It's not gonna
you
be
won't see yeah you won't
Xbox
see
games
anything
because
from one
Xbox
of
Game
their
Studios
studios.
doesn't make indie games because he can't.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Um.
Well, one game, two games I'm looking forward to. The far I know. Tunic. I'm
Tunic for
so
sure.
excited for
Tunic
Tunic.
for sure. For
Y-
sure.
Yeah,
Day one. Day one.
the Triconomy, the one with Ghost of Tsushima
The Trek,
allied people.
Trek Yomi, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
Yeah, I
hoping they
mean,
actually show some more
to me
gameplay.
that
'Cause all
one,
they're gonna say is that shit's coming to Game Pass. Like that's exactly what they're gonna say.
yeah, it's a Game Pass game, and I mean,
Triconomy is already confirmed for Game
being that
Pass.
it just showed at State of Play, I think you're pretty much gonna get the same trailer,
Yeah.
unless it's coming out
Nah,
this
that
year.
was
You might get
stupid.
gameplay.
Triconomy is already confirmed for Game Pass. I
Yeah.
don't know about
Yeah,
Tunic.
but I'm
I don't know
saying you're
about
not. I don't
Tunic.
think you're gonna see anything different. I think you're gonna see the same trailer, but on the Xbox stage for the most part.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
might get some gameplay. You might, but I mean, if you saw it at State of Play, I'm guessing you're gonna see the same thing at this Xbox Indie event. I'm just
So,
hoping that the format is a lot better because the last Xbox Indie event was really
Trash.
hosted by Twitch streamers and it was
And it
a
was
horrible
trash.
show. Yeah,
Fucking trash.
the show overshadowed the games and it was just horrible. What the show went from the show was like what 5 hours long.
And it's not and here's the thing, it's not like they don't have people that could do the show. They have some personable people that I enjoy watching talk, content. But like the randomness of just the streamers and shit, like that was a huge turn off
Yeah,
for
the
me.
streamers and then them having all these like 5 to 7 minute developer interviews after like
Yeah, like shut the hell up.
damn near every game. Like it was, yeah, it made for a bad show.
So that's interesting. Why? Because I know the Treehouse does it. Like all the directs. Normally, it's a direct. They show everything that's coming. And then like there's like okay, and then we're gonna just like deep dive into like Kirby or the new Mario or the new Smash Bros. And it takes
That's
some time.
because they're kept separate. I think this one was smash cut in the middle. Like
Ah,
after a little, then it was an interview. Then some gameplay, then a little personality from these Twitch streamers, then an interview. Because they did this, I think Koch Media did a similar thing, where it was just straight interviews, deep diving on shit that we didn't even see. It was like, you've talked a lot, but you've shown nothing.
Yeah, the event overshadowed the games. Like they did have some to learn more about the game. But not not turn an event that could possibly at longest should be 2 hours and make it like a 6 hour event.
Yeah.
that's
I mean, or do that, but like have like a condensed version, like an actual version of your shit, and let other outlets.
And they didn't have any sizzle reel. They didn't have any sizzle reel like to just show you like a quick
it was just
look
poorly
at, like,
formatted.
Yeah.
Oh, so
what's happening?
Oh, also, this is not necessarily new news, but Scorn is apparently coming out in October.
What?
There's
Well,
that.
that makes sense because it got delayed.
What did you say?
It looked in a pretty done state, so I guess it just got delayed a year.
Scorn is coming out in October.
Oh, October, yeah.
Scorn
okay.
is like this really weird looking game that I'm not gonna play, but I know Jubei is
I know Pharaoh's not.
Yeah,
gonna
I'm not
play
touching that one.
Jubei,
you can have it.
Like trailer, and I'm like, I don't.
Did you listen to it though? It sounds gross. Like it sounds real squishy. It sounds real squishy and gross.
Yeah, it's like
it
you're
sounds
walking
moist.
around in somebody's
Yeah.
insides or whatever. And
or no, like you're just walking around with wet ass socks. You're walking around in socks on a wet rug. That's what it
If you
sounds.
watched Alien, you should be able to handle Scorn.
It doesn't look scary to me. Like I just don't see the appeal in it at all. Like for some people it may be appealing, but I don't. For me, it doesn't grasp my attention.
So apparently the Halo show comes out next month.
Yeah.
I thought it was coming out March 24th.
Oh,
You know
actually, no,
what?
you're
For
right.
some
First
reason,
in
I thought it
college.
was already out. Like I heard people talking so much about this damn show. I thought it was already out. I'm not a Paramount
Yeah, so
Plus
it's March 20.
subscriber, so
Premiere date of March 24th.
I also do
okay.
not have Paramount Plus, so I won't be watching it.
Yeah,
I need to find a way to get Paramount Plus.
you
Um,
know.
But I guess
so
TV show wise, Xbox people can say it scored better than Uncharted.
Bro, I went and saw Uncharted. Garbage. But
okay, so here's the thing. We're definitely expecting. Well, Stalker 2 is indefinitely delayed.
yeah, it's they've even slightly changed the name. They're using like the Ukrainian spelling of Chernobyl.
What do you think we're gonna get? Maybe an indie game from Xbox themselves, or no? They gonna
No,
do
Xbox
that?
Global Publishing
Global Publishing,
may
like no Xbox studio is going to make an indie game because you can't.
yeah.
Why would you make an indie game when you are a first party studio?
Not
Like
indie.
Easy.
the
Easy.
equivalent of
Hold
an
on, hold
Xbox
on.
indie game is Grounded.
Yeah,
No,
The
yeah,
equivalent.
yeah. I was about to turn around and say, no, you could make an indie game. I mean, Grounded would technically fall in that parameter. I mean, it
Even
wasn't.
I
in a
need I
It
series,
need
wasn't
Grounded
from 20.
1.0
what to
to come
say?
out though. Like I'm
No,
excited
no,
for
I
Grounded
agree. No, I
1.0.
agree. But I'm saying like something like that, where it was done as a passion project without any real overhead. It was just a bunch of developers getting together and saying, "We got some free time. The
Mhm.
computers are free. You want to make
Yeah,
it? You want to make it? You want to make a small game? Fuck it.
and
Get the joints. Let's make it."
Well,
this small ass game is actually not going to be a small ass game.
You know what
what
happened
about
was it probably started out as a passion project, and probably what happened was like Phil Spencer was probably visiting Obsidian, and he was playing some different games, and he was like, "Hey, we got this thing we're working on," and like he touched it, and he was like, "No, this needs a bigger budget. I like it." That's probably what ended up happening.
Because like there's so much even in its current state, there's a lot of fucking shit to do.
Yeah,
Kind of ridiculous.
I'm telling you, that's probably what happened. Like an exec got their hands on the game and said, "No, this needs to be a thing. I'll give you some money and some more resources towards it."
Yeah. I'm excited to see what we're gonna see. I like
Yeah,
indies.
for sure.
I love
Like
tuning.
we have two shows to look forward to this week. I mean,
Oh yeah.
the
Oh,
release.
so this
I
week.
mean,
Okay. Yeah.
what other? I mean, March is a busy release month, but it's nice to have
Dude, much is insane. Ghostwire
Yeah,
Tokyo and Tiny Tina in the same breath, and Horizon Forbidden West and Elden Ring.
yeah.
Dude, like to me,
It's
like
a lot.
this time of year is kind of like the dead period as far as like big news is concerned. I feel like a lot of gamers they always expect to see like this big game, but until June hits, we're not gonna start seeing the big ones. We just gotta enjoy the releases of what's coming out, like what's coming out in the next couple weeks and months.
Yep.
what about Cuphead? Did they show
That
up in
What?
this event?
game.
Oh, the DLC, the
Yeah,
Cuphead
it's coming.
Delicious
Come
Last
out.
Course.
Do we have any
Yeah,
date?
that would be at a that would be at that type of event.
That's coming in June, so that's happening in June. June
Oh,
Okay.
30th.
if it's coming out in June, it's definitely gonna be at that Xbox ID event.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I hope it is.
yeah. It'll be there. In what fashion or form, I don't know, but it'll definitely be there.
Right. The show's not half bad. Show's pretty damn
I
good.
haven't
Oh,
watched
the
it.
show's fantastic.
I know it's on Netflix. I haven't watched it.
Yeah. My niece and nephew love it.
It's very manic, but I do enjoy
Um.
it.
It's one of those instances where, and I think it works because the writers of it are the guys behind
The
the
game.
game,
Yeah.
where it takes the inspiration of the game and creates something new. Like it's got all the recognizable characters. It has some of the it has some of the same plots, but some of it is reversed to make
Yeah,
it feel
it's
fresh.
in like a whole different context. Yeah, for sure. It's literally them just branching out
It,
in the universe.
and it makes more sense because like Cuphead and Mugman didn't seem like adults to me. Like they always came off as kids. So it was the fact that they're in a casino gambling makes no sense. Where spoiler alert, how they end up owing the devil their soul is at a carnival, which makes more sense.
Yep.
I'm glad you pointed out because that always felt weird to me too. I was like, they feel like children, and
They live with an
it's
old
based
ass
on that
couple.
era of cartoon where it's like, sure, kids can be in casinos, whatever. Satan's here, why not children? But yeah, it's like these feel like kids. Why are they
Oh.
gambling with Satan?
Oh no, they are straight up kids.
Yeah, they're children.
They're fitting to get some fucking riddling.
Yeah, like the elder kettle's always calling them boys, like they're kids.
Yeah.
At least around the age of like 12, 13 years old is what I would like lay their age at.
Yeah. I really want to give a big shout out to Square Enix for doing this. Square Enix Group today announced the donation of $500,000 to the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees in order to provide humanitarian aid to the Ukrainian people who are seeking refuge in neighbor regions. And additionally, our Square Enix Group companies have launched an employee fundraiser and matching gift program to benefit the international community for the Red Cross, UNICEF, and Doctors Without Borders. We sincerely hope that peace will be restored and those affected by the crisis will regain peaceful life as quickly as possible. Hey, good on them.
Losing money and still able to give some to charity, that's good on them.
It's good on them.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
I mean, as long as they survive this ordeal, we should.
I mean,
be okay.
when Square Enix when the lights start flickering and you get those second notices, then they will release Final Fantasy Remake Part 2, and I'm like, all right, we're good for
Time. Spend time.
they just stealth dropped it.
Yep.
It was just a random Sunday.
I need a new Nintendo console, or I just need Pokemon to move on to a different platform.
No, you can't have a new Nintendo platform unless you buy an OLED. Because the people who bought the OLED is the reason why we're not getting another fucking Nintendo platform for the next fucking 3 to 4 years.
You're welcome. I love my OLED. I love it. You're welcome.
Eat the dick.
Okay.
You're welcome. We're beta testing all them features for you.
At the end, let's get to the outros. We start with you, Dante, where people can find you.
You can find me at Dante Christ on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, DLive, and the Dante Christ on Facebook. Playing through Elden Ring, Dragon Age 2, GTA San Andreas on Chaos Mod, Shin Megami Tensei 5 still, doing a Let's Play currently of Vermintide 2 and Space Hulk, Deathwing.
Which character did you pick in Elden Ring? Which class did you pick in Elden Ring character?
I was about to ask.
Elf.
Say it again?
The elf.
The elf?
Oh, sorry.
Elden Ring. I was like,
Samurai.
elf.
Samurai.
Okay.
Now, are you doing a bleed build?
Yes.
Yes.
Because bleed is disgustingly fucking powerful in Elden
It
Ring.
It is.
And now I have a Wakazashi, so I can have both the katana and the Wakazashi.
Did you get the Moonlight Katana?
I have another katana, not the Moonlight Katana, but like I said, I have a big katana in one hand, a small katana in the other, and I can dual wield both of them, so I'm happy.
Fuck yeah.
So which build are you?
Dexterity.
He's doing a dex build. I'm doing like a paladin intelligence faith build.
Hey, intelligence.
I'm running around with the sword of Night and Flame and some other things.
I can also now fully confirm, with hand on my heart, every single boss has a fucking AoE or 360.
Apparently every boss is doing that.
My only the one thing I hate about bosses in this game is when you're in an enclosed space with a really big boss and you don't have room to move.
You mean the first fucking boss? Like,
yes.
as in Magus?
Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
not even that. There's a boss. There's a centipede. So in order to get I have most of the upgrades for my sword. In order to get the last one, the +6 stone, I have to beat this fucking the falling star beast in some cave somewhere. But as soon as you walk in, fucking walk in, as soon as you walk in, he dog smacks the shit out of you. There's nowhere to roll. There's nowhere to run. he just smacks the shit out of you because he's standing right in front of the door.
Yeah, I just fought one in the castle. He's like at the bottom of the castle.
The nigga with all the arms and legs.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, fuck him.
not the guy. It's even below. It's even further down.
Oh,
It's like a tree dragon thing or something.
Oh, it comes out of the ground, doesn't it?
Yeah, just like you
Oh.
walk
I know
forward
who
and
you're
the ground
talking
starts
about.
shaking.
You
Yeah.
want to know something funny? You want to know an easy way to beat him? I fuck you not. You can legitimately get him stuck in a wall. You can legitimately get half his body stuck in the wall and he'll just stop moving.
That would make sense. Yeah, because like it's such a small space, and like
Yes!
all he does
It's
is
like
sort
you
of
can't
move
have him.
around.
Yeah, he just moves and it's like, oh, you got hit because he moved. Like, get the fuck out of here. There's no space for me to summon. As soon as I try to summon, he's already on my ass. Like, I don't have space to do anything.
No, that's the problem with a lot of these bosses. Like, it's not a problem because these bosses are pressure bosses.
Yeah.
Like, these bosses are here to pressure you. There are certain... there's two pumpkin... There's a rune where you face two pumpkin heads.
Okay.
One of them has they both have a fire weapon. One of them's a big giant club. The other one's the flay thing. The flay, yeah. It's a small enclosed area. For some reason, you can summon your horse in it. And as soon as you walk in, if you try and summon, dude's gonna throw his flag at you and spear you with it.
Yep. Death. That's how I feel about the boss. Like, not only that, like, I'm at a grace, and then in order to get to this boss, I have to run this gauntlet of, like, a bunch of, like, insectoid-looking ass motherfuckers in this cave.
The crystal caves?
Okay.
Yes, the crystal fucking... Fuck that cave.
Oh, I ran from that immediately, dog. I said,
like,
no, I don't belong here.
I can't. I'm just not ready. I don't, like, I need, like, fucking, like, 40 points in health. Like, there's no way.
Just so you know, unlike a lot of other Souls games, they do have an aggro radius. Like
No.
After a while.
But no, that's not that. Like, it's the fact that from the grace, I have to make like a 3-minute run to get to the boss door, and then as soon as you open the boss door, he says, "Oh, hold these mandibles," knocks me down, and then breathes fire on me and kills me immediately. Like, I can't. The one time I was able to get out of that corner, I'm like, okay, I got him down to like half his health. And then he did an AoE attack, and I didn't see it coming, and he fucked me, and I'm like, I hate it here.
So I recently discovered something as well, and this is a game changer for me. Have you guys discovered how to improve your summons?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I already spoke to her. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I don't have the materials. Yeah, I don't have the materials to level it up much more. I need to go out and search
like
for
my
them.
first successful quest.
I want to ask that. Am I the only one that thinks that the Soul game needs an improvement when it comes to upgrade and stuff like that? Like, why do I need to look it up on YouTube if a game like any game that gives you the ability to explain to you where you can find these items? And
because they purposely make it a point to not hold your hand with anything. That's why there's no quest log. That's why there's no upgrade log.
Second, it's
not what like, you can do.
These upgrade things, smithing stones, are not hard to find.
They're not. The higher leveled ones are behind bosses, but they're not hard to find.
But that's always been a thing, and it's not just a Souls thing that does that. It's a gameplay thing in general, where if you want to level up your weapon to the max, like take it even further beyond like Goku, like you need to look for this titanite slab that will push it to level 10.
Yeah, so what I'll say is cause like Dante, you play a lot of Souls games. You're in the mix of that. As a person who hasn't played since like Bloodborne first came out, there are a lot of things that I remember about it. It's like, okay, I get it. I understand what Bleed does. What I don't particularly care for, it feels like it's its own cult of personality. There are certain things that like you'll just never know unless you actively want to pay attention, or you have to look it up. It feels like
story. Here's the thing: the story and some of the side quests, I will give you that. Like,
yeah, it's
that-
bullshit. Like I have to remember, like this. I've met this guy on a hill, and he's like, "Yeah, go liberate this fort."
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you where the fuck that hill I met him at
This
was to
now-
go back
Yeah.
to him.
Now, this is something that I will defend in a semi thing, because I do agree. I wish there was kind of a log thing. Castle northeast, that would have been nice.
Yes.
But that's also something that back in the day you used the pen and paper for.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
my middle ground would have been, and for those who played Guardians of the Galaxy, there is a it's not a quest log, it's a story log about what we've done. But it's all from the perspective of Peter. So it's like all childlike drawings. He was like, I went out here and I fought this awesome thing, and there's a little drawing of him like fighting a dude. And like Rocket sucks right now. He's kind of getting on my nerves, and like it's an angry Rocket face. So it's not a detailed description of what we just did, but it is sort of a quick and dirty. I feel like there is something that Elden Ring can do to put it in the middle. You don't have to specifically tell me, yeah, I talked to this guy in the shack. He's telling me he wants to do this quest.
A points of interest logbook would be nice.
Yes, and like the words can be kind of vague. It doesn't have to be very
hold up.
specific.
I actually disagree with that. Make it the way that it's literally meant to be, and have it the ability to be turned off. Like,
I mean,
look
or
at,
that, yeah.
Look at Ubisoft games. You can keep the market. You can remove everything on market you want.
Well, not the marker specific. You can put as much. You can fill up that
Not
map.
market,
with markers.
not market, but like quest log. You name it. You choose what to use and what not to use. That's up to you. Like the fact that I literally need to look at.
But but the problem is, and as someone who's not played Elden Ring, you don't know this. That is all up to you in Elden Ring as well.
Yeah, like you can do. Like I'm not faulting it for not having it. And like I said, the way I'm envisioning, like to power up your summons is through the woman in the Storm Shack. And you got to go through the castle, find her piece, give it back to her.
She's before the castle. She's before the castle.
No, I mean she's in the Storm Shack before the castle. The thing you have to find is in the castle. Bring it back to her. Yeah. So you can theoretically.
Oh,
no, you got to beat anybody.
But I think we're talking about two completely. Are we talking about the woman to level up your summons or
Spirits, yeah.
Yeah. What's her name? Is it Rodicra?
Yeah, Rodicra. The chick you get the jellyfish from. Yeah, you don't have to do anything for her. You just got to talk to her.
Yeah, you just talk to her. You don't even need to get the jellyfish. You just talk to her.
You talk to her. She goes to a place. You talk. Yeah.
She goes to
the hole.
The gray circle. Yeah. The hole.
Yeah.
That did not happen for me that way.
Really?
I talked to her, and then I've made multiple trips back and forth from the table since then. I went through the castle, found she was looking for a specific thing, found it, gave it back to her.
Yeah. There's like a chronicle. It's like an item. Like it's like in a pile of shit. It's literally in a pile of shit surrounded by dogs. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You had to get that
I think
first.
I might have picked it up by accident.
Yeah.
But
You do have to get that. You do have to get that. But they don't tell you this.
But here's the thing then. But here's the thing. Like there's the nail in the argument there. I didn't know I had to get it, but I got it anyway, just from my desire. To kind of push forward of explore every nook and cranny, and that isn't just a Souls thing. That's a game thing in general. Like if you give me something and you clearly are setting it up like, okay, there's a lot of things around. Go look for them. It's like, okay, the hunt begins.
Right. My only thing, like that's not where I'm at on. It's just it's actually the remembrance of her asking me to do it. In my head, it is just this small journal saying, met a woman in the Storm Shack. She's sad about, I forgot what she was sad about specifically. And that's as far as it goes. It does not give you anything more than, oh yeah, I did meet this. What was she sad about again? And then you can go back and figure it out yourself. Like I don't want it to be, go find her and then put it on the marker on the map and here's the thing she's looking for. Just this very sort of like,
be like, oh, it's over yonder. It's over east somewhere.
Don't even tell me where it is. Just tell me her. all I want to know is that I met this woman at this thing, and then now it's up to me to remember what she was asking me for.
Now,
But all I
here's
just
the
want to
thing.
know is where she is.
For me, this is the least egregious that From Software has been with this, because at least they're straight up telling you. It's just on you to either remember it or write it down.
Right.
It ain't got shit on trying to get the Dark Lord ending of Dark Souls. Ain't got shit on trying to get the goddamn fucking One Reborn ending for Bloodborne. Ain't got shit on trying to get the Usurp the Fire ending for Dark Souls. Ain't got shit on the goddamn fucking true ending of Sekiro either. Like, where in the fuck would you think of giving that that little maiden in the shack in the middle of the goddamn fucking God knows where mountains fucking rice balls to get the good ending?
Right. And it's like, just literally today, I just found out that if you go to the castle, that guy, because it's hard to get through the front gate, so you go around the back. That guy was like, I want to go around the back or open the gate. When I was noticing when I died, I wasn't getting all of my souls back. Like,
Really?
I would die, recover
You know what? You're
my
fucking
soul,
right. You're fucking
and I
right.
wasn't
Fuck
getting
that.
them back. And I was like, wait, what's happening? When in the castle, specifically when you die there, he takes 30% of your souls. There is no indication that he's doing this. For the fact, I don't know how people figured it out.
Now, okay, I know how people figured it out, because I know what you're talking about, and there's a reason why. This kind of falls back to a previous character from the Souls game, from previous Souls games known as Patches. People are liking this character to Patches because Patches throughout the entire series, no matter his depiction, because in the Souls games he's been a human. In Bloodborne he was the spider. In the Frontier, he's a dick. Like, he is a fucking bastard. In Dark Souls 1, he literally his ploy is he kicks you into a pit so you die, so he can steal your shit.
Makes sense. And like,
That's how people made the connection, is because we already have the establishment of dickhead characters that you shouldn't trust.
Yeah, and like
Souls games have kind of hardened, and honestly, this is not a fault of yours. Like, it's just something you kind of pick up on having played the games. You kind of get the inkling not to trust a lot of people in these games.
Yeah, and very true. I was like, when I saw him, I was like, this looks like a dude I should probably not trust. And my first instinct was to kill him flat out. I was like, I should just kill him now and be done
I
with
wouldn't kill him because most of the time, at the very end, he is useful like a merchant or something like that.
Well, he does become a merchant, but you can figure out a way around that. What happens is, and kind of sucks depending on how you go about it.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. The only thing I will say is that you have two paths you can go with him, and like depending on what you do, will lock one path out of him. It's not the worst thing in the world. It doesn't largely affect the game in any way, but like two separate things could happen.
I'm stuck in that damn castle, bro. I need to finish that.
I think I've just finished everything in there. Like, I think I'm finally done.
I'm trying to get that Rancor spell that's in somewhere in that castle. I want that spell.
Maybe I'm not done because I don't know where that is.
I officially have the moment to beat that you guys need to try and get up on my level. So are you familiar with the dragon on the far right? Like, as soon as you start, there's the tree sentinel in front of you, and then if you go all the way right into this big area, the dragon shows up.
The dragon by the lake?
Yes.
Yes. Your task now is to beat him first try, no damage.
Well, I beat him, but I'd have to start all over the first try, no damage.
Because that's what I did.
Yeah,
no,
fuck that.
I fought him when I didn't even have my horse, and I was like, I don't understand how I'm supposed to do this.
Oh, quite easily, but I did it with the horse.
Mm-hmm. No, I haven't moved in to kill him yet, so we'll see.
Just so you know, he's not the only dragon.
I know. I've also killed the big ass old ass dragon already too.
But there's also other dragons around that are not even bosses, but just as deadly.
I've not met the old dragon.
You haven't met the elder dragon.
This is why I enjoy Elden Ring.
Yeah.
No, because on my way to get stuff for the Sword of Night and Flame, I had to go kill him. So he was in the way.
All right, let's continue with those outros because
Yeah,
I
Yes.
feel
Yes,
sorry,
yeah,
I
I was
derailed
about
this
to say.
completely.
Sorry,
Since when
we got
did
sucked down
this
a rabbit
game?
hole. That
I was
this game
about
is
to
great.
say, since when did this became the Elden Ring podcast? But yeah, no, Jubei, where people can find you?
Yep, you can find me at Jubei X Sensei on gaming platforms, Jubei Sensei everywhere else. And yeah, I am playing WWE 2K22. It is great.
Yeah,
You know, RIP Scott Hall. This is the best wrestling game I've gotten in like 10 plus years, so I'm going to enjoy myself.
the
Um,
bad guy, yeah?
yes, for sure. But no, I don't know if you guys played 2K20. It was trash. It was broken, garbage, buggy.
I heard
This is
of it.
not that. This is not that. This
So,
is
did
a
they
great
improve?
game. This is a return to form for sure.
I heard that it's more of a theme,
No. Here's
wrestling
so
theme.
they put it's kind of, but not really. So there's like a my GM mode, which is hot garbage. There's a universe mode that now you can play as any superstar in the game and like do your own promos and do shit like that,
Oh,
which
that's
is
cool.
it's separate from GM. But like it's great because before you were locked into only doing that with certain wrestlers. You can do it with any wrestler on the roster at any time.
Oh,
So
oh,
like that's super fun.
that
And
is fun.
it's just a better game. Yeah, like it's just a better game. Like you can literally be like, oh yeah, I want this guy. Like if the guy is in real life on like Raw or SmackDown, you're stuck there until you get out your contract and you can move around, whatever. But if you
Oh,
pick
that's
somebody
nice.
that's not on there, you can choose where they end up. You can go to NXT. You know, you can do some promotions
Oh,
over there. Like you have like so much control over this.
I
Like
want to
it's really
know what.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
want to know how good the story is because I've been like for me, no WWE game has been good
Oh
since.
no, the story is actually good. It actually makes sense. Like the only mode I'm not liking is the GM mode, and I won't be playing it because universe is so much better.
That's because GM mode's been ass since they got rid of it initially. GM mode was the shit back in the day.
Yeah. So universe is what GM mode should be because you do a lot of the same things, but you don't actually handle like the entire roster. You handle yourself.
Oh, you're making me real. You're making me want to dip down and get this game because
It's
right now.
good. Like just look at it. Look at it. Like it's good. I'm telling you. There's like there's finisher counters. Like there's so many counters and things that have been missing in like wrestling 2K games that like I'm just happy it's there. Like it's simple, but it's difficult to master, which is what we need.
My concern is the fact that WWE is in talks with EA.
Yeah. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So, but there,
Anyway,
I
back onto the outros because I'm
yes.
derailing it now.
okay. Yeah,
Yes.
outro.
So back to I'll just cop that game. That's where I'll be. That and Elden Ring. That's where I'm at. Come
Okay.
get with me in the ring, or invade my game in Elden Ring.
Where people can find you, Pharaoh.
You can find me Twitch at Land of Pharaoh, Twitter Pharaoh Bazaar, YouTube Pharaoh Bazaar, and Facebook I think is still Pharaoh Gaming. Yeah, that's where you can find me.
Gotcha.
Typically stream on the weekends. Try to stream a little bit during the week. We'll see how that goes. Yeah. I'm trying to
Okay.
start streaming some different games though. Get off the
And
mat a little bit.
people can find me and Carve_Job on Twitter. I got the plat for Forbidden West, and I did a spoiler cast with my team about the game. And yeah, for the most part, we came to the same conclusion. The game needed more time, but it was worth every second of it. And we can't wait for 3 or the DLC, whatever they're gonna release. Other than that, thank you guys for listening. You can do anything, but fuck it, I'm not Dante. Yeah, no, go ahead, Zero. Where
Yeah,
people can find
you gonna let
you
Zero give his
and where
his
people can
outro?
find us. Yeah, no, yeah, I hate it. I should just be me. Yeah, no, this was not it.
Well, as always, guys, it is an absolute pleasure to be here. I'm glad to be back. I missed you guys the last couple of weeks, and I've tuned in. I couldn't be part of the podcast. We talked about Smash and Nintendo, and I just wasn't there, so I felt left out and sad. But I'm back now, so like we should be here. You can of course find me zero.exe. Yeah, you're used to that. Pretty much everywhere because I'm trying to just make that change to my name now as a uniform
Oh
sort
yeah,
of brand guy.
hell yeah.
Um, but more importantly, where you can find us at all sort of streaming platforms, be it Apple, Google, Google Play, Spotify. We are always there. We appreciate you guys listening to us because as always, you could literally be doing anything else, but you decided to listen to us, so we'll always appreciate you for that. Please don't forget, we are, a collection of individuals who come together for this, but we also go off and do our own things. Please go to Land Pharaoh streaming, Jubei as well for the fighting games, or some Elden Ring. Please check out Game Slayer Saturdays at 6.
5.
5 Saturdays at 5. Never stop watching Dante Crisis' streams. They are absolutely fantastic. Bully him into doing a Pokemon Nuzlocke. So
Oh,
like, let's
I
all
would
bully
watch
him
that
into
in a
do that.
heartbeat.
Um, I feel like I'm missing someone.
Pharaoh.
I said Pharaoh.
Oh,
And Kofi, just send him random language words and ask him to translate them. I'm sure he'll appreciate that. So once again, guys, appreciate you. Thank you for listening.
and with that being said, we're out of here. Keep gaming.